Cookbook class. My name is Alex, and today we are going to be cooking up one of our favorite recipes at the cookbook class. We are making energy bites. Now, before we get started, I want to make sure that you guys have either on an apron or you have a towel to wipe your hands clean as you're cooking, because I promise this is definitely one of our messier recipes. So the ingredients that you will need today are broken up into two parts. We have our dry ingredients and then we have our wet ingredients. For your dry ingredients today, you will need 3/4 of a cup of oats. We have 1 tablespoon of protein powder. Now this is completely optional. We have a fun mixture, 1/3 cup. So in my fun mixture today, I have some dried cranberries and chocolate chips, but you can use coconut flakes, you can use raisins, anything that you have in your pantry. And then I'm also going to be using cinnamon and a little bit of sea salt for my spices. Now for my wet ingredients, so my liquid ingredients, I have maple syrup, I have some vanilla extract that I'll be using, and then also some water to make sure that the consistency is good to go for when I start forming the energy bites. Now, another ingredient that I am using today are chia seeds. I'm using 1 teaspoon. So again, this is another optional ingredient. All right, let's go ahead and get cooking. So the first thing that the recipe calls for you to do is to mix all of your dry ingredients together. So here I have 2 bowls. I have a bigger one and a smaller one. In my bigger bowl, I'm going to mix my dry ingredients because eventually after I'm done mixing my wet ingredients, I'm going to add it to the bowl with my dry ingredients. So what that means is I will be adding my 3/4 cup of oats. I'm going to add my fun mixture, 1 teaspoon of those chia seeds, and then I'll also be adding in my protein powder. Okay, so now using a spatula, I'm going to mix those ingredients around. Oops. I'm going to mix those ingredients around, and just like when we're mixing anything, you want to make sure that everything gets evenly spread in the mixture. So take a look there. And then now I'll be ready to add my wet ingredients into my second bowl. So I need 1/4 cup of peanut butter. I'm also going to use a spatula to get the rest of the peanut butter into the bowl. I have 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. So this is where it is going to add some sweetness to your recipe. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of that vanilla extract. And then now I'm ready to mix everything around. So I'm not using the water just yet. The water is going to come in when I add this mixture to my dry ingredients. Once you get a nice, smooth, blended consistency, you will know that it is time to add your wet ingredients to your dry ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Using my spatula to make sure that I'm getting everything from the side of the bowl. Now I'm ready to mix. So again, using that same spatula, and this time I'm going to want to make sure that everything is getting coated, all of those dry ingredients. And then as I mix, this is when I'm gonna notice if I need some more water. So I'm gonna start with 1 tablespoon of water because it is looking a little dry. And then as I go, I'll add more if I need to. I don't think that I need to add any more liquid to my mix, but I do have to add 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt and also 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. All right, I'm gonna give it one more good mix, make sure that everything is coated, and then the fun part will begin. We're going to start to roll our mixture into a ball shape. There you have it, my mixture is ready to go. So I like to clean as I cook. So I'm going to clean up my cooking station, and then I'm going to get a plate and cover it with parchment paper. That way when I take 1 tablespoon of the mixture. I'm going to flatten it and then I'm gonna roll it into a ball shape and then place it onto the parchment paper. So why don't you go ahead, clean up your station, what you've done so far, get together your plate and your parchment paper, and then we'll meet back here to create our energy bites. So now let's have some fun. I have my spatula and I also have 1 tablespoon to help me measure out the amount of mixture I'm going to need to create each energy bite. So scooping up 1 tablespoon of mixture, I'm going to level it off. So remember what leveling is. If you see that the mixture or that ingredient is heaping over the tablespoon, then you can take a flat surface or a blade and then just scoot the rest of the mixture or the ingredient back into the bowl. So I have 1 tablespoon of mixture. I'm going to use my spatula to scoop it out, and then I'm going to first flatten it with my hands. Now this is where it's going to get quite messy. After I flatten it, I can then start to form the ball or the sphere. So if you're starting to notice that your mixture is too wet, if it's kind of falling apart, you can always go ahead and add some more oats. You can add some more protein powder or some of that fun mixture to make it not so wet. So I am just going to continue repeating this process, grabbing 1 tablespoon of mixture, leveling it off with my spatula. I'm going to get it on my hands, flatten it out, and then create that ball shape. So have some fun with that, okay? It should be around this size. Just simply placing it onto the plate that has the parchment paper. So I'm gonna do this till all of my mixture is gone. How'd you do? Isn't playing with your food fun? Now, I was able to create 10 energy bites. If you want to get more out of your mixture, you can use something smaller than a tablespoon, like a half a tablespoon or 2 teaspoons to make the size that you want to. Now, the last step that you need to do is place these either in the freezer for about 10 minutes or the fridge for a little bit longer so they can get cold and they'll harden just a little bit. If you want to go ahead and eat them now, that's perfectly fine too. However, if you don't finish all of them, you can save them in a bag or in a container in your fridge and they will stay good for up to a week. They are delicious. They are the perfect snack in between meals, or if you want to make it into a lunch, you could always pair it with some yogurt and some fruit. It's up to you. I hope that you enjoyed playing with your food today, and as always, remember to have fun playing with your food, be brave, and try something new. We will see you next time.